It's like a life-size dollhouse or something? I don't know.
It's like we're playing house, but it's like real life.
But it's like,
and
oh
real
no,
house.
this is real. Yeah. Hi, I'm Courtney.
And I'm Jules. Welcome to our 248 square foot apartment in the West Village.
I think it's an eclectic style. It has things from all over the place, much like the city. I think even beyond that, this apartment embodies at least what I thought of this neighborhood before I moved in. It's a tiny space that's kind of quirky, has some unique bits to it with the loft. The floors are completely crooked. The fireplace, I think, is adorable, and it just has these elements that are very much our neighborhood.
And in the warm weather, we'll often like make breakfast or food and then just like bring it outside, and it feels just like such a treat. It just like feels like otherworldly or something. We'll like bring backgammon out back and like play a game and have coffee and eat out back, and there's like a whole little world of birds and animals going on back there.
We call it Birdtown. It's really cute. There's like, I think really a whole world that they have going on back there. They're like talking all the time. Wonder what's going on in Birdtown today.
We're like old people.
Just sitting playing cards.
Yeah.
I've always really enjoyed the desert and felt somewhat connected to it and traveled there fairly frequently without having spent any significant time or lived there. And then a few months back, we were kind of getting a little stir crazy in here and decided to take a road trip
From New Mexico, Arizona into California. So we got engaged in the desert.
that was dual purpose, like most things in our life. And we got engaged, and so now it's become even more meaningful, and we've brought some things back from that trip and infused them back into here that already had a desert vibe to it. So I think that's a big influence for us. I think the thing that makes this apartment different is everything is really worked for. Like every little bit of it is like, oh yeah, I put myself into that. I have the story that's associated with where that came from, or I have this memory of how difficult it was obtaining whatever piece. And so that, I think, is also what makes this feel so much like home. Like, this is my space. I earned it. I earned every little second of it. One of our favorite DIYs is our shoe cabinet turned dresser.
We spent a weekend revamping the piece. It was white before, and we bought these like mother of pearl knobs from Etsy. Then we got metal sheets of aluminum from
Yeah, it's like actually,
Home
I think,
Depot.
a siding. So we unrolled it. We turned this into like a little wood shop working studio. And most people come in and they're like, wow, where'd you guys get this? This is so cool. And we're like,
It's a shoe rack.
It's an IKEA shoe rack.
I think in downsizing, it really has been like a, if you don't love this, it has to go.
But it's amazing you don't, or at least for me, that I don't need all of the extras that I once kind of thought I needed. Need very little, and to love the little things that you do have. I think it has to be aesthetic and functional, which makes it more difficult to find and do, but the knives are the perfect example of that. I love the way they look, but they're also they're probably the best knives I've had, so the only knives I might have had, to be honest.
We keep all of our pans in the oven until they're used. We found a space for the cutting board on the side of the kitchen. It's kind of like there's only so much sink space, there's only so much oven space, so you take one thing down, something else has to get cleaned and put away.
You have to be very strategic. You have to plan out. I feel like when we make meals, which we've done a lot of, it's like, okay, you're on this duty, you're on this duty. Okay, are you done with that task yet? Because we have to like completely revamp, switch, clean, and move into the next phase.
One of the most important pieces in keeping our small space organized is this industrial looking chest of drawers that we have that actually used to be an old mail
Filing cabinet at the
cabinet.
Brooklyn courthouse.
So that's where we store all of our little odds and ends, our cords, our pens and paper, medicine,
Games.
all the little things that we want easy access to but we don't want in sight. I think my childhood self would have loved this apartment. And it almost feels like a childhood dream or something, like climbing up to a treehouse at night. There's like sometimes we'll watch TV from the loft and you're kind of
like a
like
little treat.
laying with your feet kicked back and up like you do as a kid, and
It's kind of Swiss Family Robinson-esque.
yeah.
Like, it is childhood dreams, being surrounded by your favorite things. And so I feel like this tiny little space, even though it's just one room, is everything I need. I love coming home. I've never really felt like that before. It's New York. I was always like, oh, I gotta be out. I gotta be doing this, that. Every little bit of free time was spent kind of escaping home, whereas now I'm really happy to be at home.
Oh my god. Adorable.
Birdtown. I can't believe we just talked about Birdtown.
You brought up Birdtown.
I know. I could hear them. They're like, hey, what about us? Don't forget us.
Like, are we in the interview?